Meyer Lansky, often called the mob's accountant, was one of the most influential and powerful figures in organized crime during the 20th century. Born as Meyer Lansky in 1902 in Grodno, then part of the Russian Empire, now in Belarus, Lansky immigrated to the United States with his family as a child, settling in New York's Lower East Side. Lansky would grow up to become a key architect of the American Mafia, establishing a vast criminal empire over several decades. Rise in organized crime. Lansky's early criminal career began when he met Bugsy Siegel and Charlie "Lucky" Luciano. Together, the three men formed alliances that would define the future of organized crime in the United States. While Siegel and Luciano were more involved in violent criminal activities, Lansky focused on the business side, ensuring that the money flowed smoothly through their operations. One of Lansky's major discoveries or contributions to organized crime was his development of the National Crime Syndicate in the 1930s. The syndicate was essentially a nationwide alliance of organized crime groups. Lansky's idea was to establish a business-like organization, bringing together Italian, Jewish, and Irish mobsters and preventing unnecessary conflicts. His role was to help regulate disputes, ensure profits were shared equally, and facilitate partnerships across ethnic lines. The casino empire. Lansky was also a pioneer in the world of gambling, which became one of his primary sources of income. Recognizing the potential of legalized gambling, he moved his operations to Florida, New Orleans, and eventually Cuba, where he worked with Fulgencio Batista's regime to turn Havana into a major gambling destination for American tourists. His vision extended to Las Vegas, where Lansky helped finance Bugsy Siegel's Flamingo Hotel and Casino. Siegel, however, mismanaged the project and overextended its budget. When the Flamingo failed to generate immediate profits, the mob saw Siegel as a liability, and Lansky allegedly gave the nod for his assassination in 1947.
Financial genius.
Lansky was known for his genius in hiding and laundering money, making him one of the most elusive criminals to ever exist. He developed methods of sending money offshore to places like Switzerland and other tax havens, protecting mob profits from government scrutiny. His knowledge of the financial world and legal loopholes made him nearly impossible to convict for much of his career. Lansky also played a significant role in expanding the mob's influence internationally. He had strong connections to the European underworld and was involved in smuggling operations during World War II, helping the U.S. government in exchange for lighter scrutiny of his activities. Attempts to convict Lansky. Despite his long career in organized crime, Lansky was incredibly difficult for law enforcement to pin down. His first brush with the law came in the 1950s, when Senator Estes Kefauver's committee began investigating organized crime. The Kefauver hearings brought Lansky's name into the spotlight, but no substantial charges were brought against him. In the 1970s, Lansky moved to Israel, seeking refuge under its law of return, which allowed Jewish people to seek citizenship. However, in 1972, Israel denied Lansky citizenship and extradited him back to the United States. Upon his return, Lansky faced several indictments related to tax evasion and skimming profits from his casinos. In one of the most notable cases, the U.S. government attempted to convict Lansky on charges of tax evasion in the early 1970s, similar to how they had taken down Al Capone. Lansky, however, had meticulously hidden his earnings and structured his financial affairs in ways that made it difficult to trace. Despite the government's efforts, he was acquitted of all major charges in 1974 due to lack of evidence. Later life and death. Meyer Lansky largely retired from organized crime in his later years, though he remained a respected figure in the underworld. His power and influence had diminished, but he was still seen as one of the founding figures of modern organized crime in America. Lansky spent his final years in Miami Beach, Florida, living modestly compared to his past wealth. He passed away in 1983 at the age of 80 from lung cancer. At the time of his death, the IRS claimed he owed $300 million in back taxes, but Lansky insisted he was nearly broke. Legacy. Despite his close involvement in organized crime, Lansky was never fully convicted of any serious criminal activities. His genius in money laundering, his contributions to the structure of organized crime, and his ability to evade law enforcement cemented his legacy as one of the most legendary figures in American criminal history. Lansky's life remains a testament to the complicated and often hidden world of organized crime. Thanks for tuning into Sika True Crime Docs. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating tales. Your support helps us keep bringing these stories to life. See you in the next episode.